What is up, YouTube tool tubers of the world? My name is Brad and welcome to my wood pile. So this is a bunch of white oak for the most part. I think this whole pallet actually is white oak. It's all pallet wood, salvaged, and it's what I'm going to be making a lot of my shit out of. So what you're going to see today is some of this white oak that I used. It started out exactly like this, that I milled down with the joiner and the planer. This isn't going to be a how-to video, it's just going to be me building. I hope you enjoy it. The first thing I did was bring down all the oak pallet wood that I've already squared up with the planer and joiner, and that was just a cool looking one. And I finally decided on using these two. I started out by cutting the boards into as many 18-inch sections as I could get. And I went ahead and did this with my Forest Woodworker 2 blade because this is a very thick, hard oak, and I really wanted to put this blade to the test. I even ended up ripping this 3.5-inch thick material with this 40-tooth blade, which is not what it's meant for. But it didn't even burn the wood, even when I was using it to rip this thick material. But I did switch over to my 24-tooth Diablo blade because I did have a lot of rips to do through some very thick material, and that's just the proper blade for the job. Next, I got my stencil out and measured it, and I know there's supposed to be 7 stripes, so when I divided that, it gave me 0.71. So I put it on my caliper, and I started planing away. I chose to use the planer rather than ripping them down with the table saw because I wanted to slowly work my way down to the right thickness. It was very cold and windy out this day, and as you're about to see, I was pretty excited to get done. And next I went ahead and put down some masking tape, and I put full tape over top of that, which was a little trick I learned on Fisher's shop. He's got a YouTube channel, pretty good little woodworking channel, and all this does is stop the wood from being burned on that side without leaving the super sticky residue from the full tape. Now all my red stripes that I've labeled are going to be like a medium type burn. The blue was a very heavy, dark burn, and the white I just barely put a singe on there. Now you'll see that you want to just try to keep moving as evenly as possible. Try not to get impatient and stop any work. Alright, so now that they're laid out, that everything's burned, I'm going to put a very light amount of glue. You don't want to put very much because you really don't want any squeeze out coming through the top. And plus you're going to be putting on some scrap pieces on the back that are going to be brad nailed, so it's really just to hold it together temporarily to make the rest of the job easier to work with. So I just trim off the side with the canton on it, and then I trim the whole flag down to length, which is supposed to be 2/5 the size of the canton. And here's where I show you that I'm terrible at carving. So I had to figure out a different way to get good looking stars on this flag. And right now I'm just measuring it out, trying to get it centered. And so I just decided to paint them. The next problem was I had this little bounce in the middle, so I just had to hold it down with a stick. And all I did was 2 very light coats of this spray paint. Alright guys, so there she is, the finished product. Yes, I cheated. I painted on the stars, but as you can see, I really sucked at carving them. So, I mean, I guess one thing of being a good beginner woodworker and stuff is knowing your limitations. And my limitations is I'm not artsy enough to carve these yet. I didn't want to screw it up by putting shit like this in there. I did go ahead and clear it. I used Rust-Oleum lacquer. I usually like the Watco stuff, but I couldn't get any at the store. You know, Home Depot's 45 minutes away, so I get my finishes mainly from Walmart. And then there's a local hardware store that charges you an arm and a leg. On the back, I don't know if I showed this or not. I don't think I did, but I just put 2 of the scraps that were left over right there. And of course the Brad's Workbench brand. Brad's Workbench brand. Say that 3 times fast. That Mr. Jason Walden was happy enough to make for me. And he has a video of the making of this brand if you're interested over on his channel, Jason's Walden's Tools and Machining. I got it right this time. It's a really simple project for beginners. Great way to get started. Great use of pallet oak. It almost looks like it's stained rather than burned. We can take a little bit closer look at it. So either way, I'm very pleased with the look of it. I might use a semi-gloss instead of a full gloss next time. And I'm also playing with the idea of putting a 45 chamfer all the way around on the next one I make. So you keep building, you keep experimenting, you see what works, you see what doesn't. But since I was giving this one away, I didn't want to experiment too much with it and then ruin it. And I'm going back out to work in a week and I don't have time to build another one. This will be one of the prizes in my upcoming giveaway if anybody's interested in it. If you haven't heard about it, I'm doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway soon. And yeah, hop back to the video that talks about rules and prizes and stuff like that, and you can enter to win. All the rules are there in the description, or you can watch the video. So until next time, guys, hit that like button, leave me a comment, hit that subscribe button right over there, and I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace!